I would say just about in every instance of violence in New Haven, it's about that tiny sense of power. I don't care what people say in the testimonies. People don't kill for sneakers. People don't kill for chains. People don't kill for their girl, and people don't kill because you was talking junk. People kill because they have no pride, they have no security, and they have no power, and they want that.
Good afternoon and welcome to you all. I'm Will Ginsberg. I'm president of the Community Foundation for Greater New Haven. And on behalf of the foundation and on behalf of Long Wharf Theater, which is our partner in bringing you today's program, I welcome you to this convening on violence in our community. Violence, gun violence in the streets of our neighborhoods is a singular challenge in our community. Violent acts destroy lives and families, and violence also tears at the very fabric of the bonds that tie us together.
What up, incoming freshman? My name Jacob. I go here, play for house fan, feel me, represent, and it's pretty cool.
Jacob was my youngest son. He was full of energy, funny, caring, giving, loving. At 15, he was an amazing young man. He always showed his love, and he always had a smile on his face. And that's what I remember. That's what I always see in my mind, is his smile.
As a society, we don't have a prevention mindset when it comes to violence. We look at it like there are just some bad kids out there, and when they are bad, we have to respond aggressively. This is not just a criminal justice problem. This is also a health problem. When we say it's a public health problem, we're not saying it's not a criminal justice problem. What we're saying is there's a complementary relationship between prevention and response.
I've worked with young people. I think the youngest age I worked with is about 9, maybe 8 or 9 years old. A lot of these young boys over time, they have experienced homicides, gun violence, death. When you talk to them and you establish a relationship, you find their cousin got killed, their uncle got killed, somebody got killed in front of their house, and they're just inundated with ongoing violence.
We find that there aren't opportunities for the children to actually share their grief, that culturally we don't know how to be with grief.
The results of chronic, persistent community violence is the erosion of the relationships in neighborhoods that support the health of the community and support healthy children.
One of the things that we are trying to do is to assure that in some of our schools we have trauma-informed care and trauma programs that begin to recognize and give kids the tools to talk through the traumas that they've experienced in their lives.
The one prevailing feeling was just guilt. Guilt for surviving, for not, again, taking care of him in a way that I thought a big brother should. And this kind of lack of peace because of that incident. For maybe 4 years, I was just waiting to die. I was waiting for the same thing to happen to me because I felt like it could happen to me.
We've learned, because of looking at this epidemic with epidemiology, the science of public health, some of the risk factors. And they are pretty obvious, some things that you would know. I focus in on the last one on the list, that culture of violence, because I've just kind of learned It matters what we say to our children. It matters what we do to them. It matters what we expect them to do.
Acts of violence, I think, is the quickest way to gain respect. Displays of manhood, displays of I'm more powerful than you, which is something that I got kind of caught up with. The only thing that I could do that made me feel any sense of security or safety is if people were at least as afraid of me as I was afraid of them.
How do you keep up with the forms of violence that are coming at us that lead to this ultimate violence where someone loses a life? I don't want them to accept it. But isn't that what they're seeing adults do? Accept it, build more prisons, you know? Where are the teen centers? Where is the community building that needs to be done by adults for them?
One of the strengths that gets overlooked a lot when we speak about young people is that we do not engage them in conversations about what needs to happen, what is happening, and what are, from their perspective, the root causes.
So I think the part of our community solution to violence has to be to make sure that our approach isn't just deficit-driven, but equally we spend time on the strengths that do lie within the young people in our community. We have to find them, and then we have to make sure that they are connected to resources and people that can build upon those strengths as the possible solution to the crime problem.
What we've basically been trying to work on in New Haven, and it's very new, but it comes from juvenile justice initiatives around restorative justice. And it's the whole idea of restorative practice, so that the principal needs to know, people in the community need to know, the teachers need to know that if someone does something wrong, that when you just eliminate that person and push them out to the street, that you're really not giving them an opportunity, one, to learn about their behavior, and two, to find a way to come back into the mainstream and give them and restore them to be a part of our community.
In Boston, we had the very interesting and really enlightening experience of reducing our homicides of children 16 and younger from almost 1 a month down to 0. No one program in Boston did this. But if you look at that accumulation of programs over time, what you see is the efforts of people like yourself.
When people come and they say, I can't imagine, you can't imagine. You can't imagine. But when it's gun violence, I'm going to say it's different. I know if you lost a child to a sickness or an accident, you would have anger. But it's not someone else taking your child's life.
Everybody counts. You can't say it. You must believe it. And if you really want to do the litmus test, pretend that you're the Craggett family every day. And then ask yourself, does anybody deserve to die from gun violence in the United States of America?
I think the number one key, if there's any, to fixing New Haven and fixing violence, especially gun violence, is going to be believing that we can. I think we have to believe it's possible and work like every last life is worth it, because there are no lost causes. There are no lost causes.
We must come together on this issue, because we can only offer a better and more hopeful path for our young people if each of us sees this challenge as our own.
Somehow, if we could all see ourselves in each other, perhaps it would be a step or two towards the ending of violence.
Everybody can do something. We need mentors. We need for folks to support the organizations that have been doing this work.
This is the most amazing community. in the world. People really want to make a difference.